When this Boston, Not LA came out, that was something that we went crazy over, man. I mean, we played the death out of that record.
Mike Dries, who owns Newberry Comics, which used to be one store on Newberry Street, was putting a compilation together of local bands that were doing the hardcore thing.
The Boston LA thing kind of started as a conversation almost with Al saying, "Hey, we ought to put together an album of all this stuff," and it was really towards the very end of that project's formulation that he made a very firm decision that he didn't want SS to be part of it. So, kind of much to my surprise, not shock, but just like, oh, that's kind of weird. He's kind of one of the reasons why we got these ideas together. So, in that sense, I'd certainly, give him a reasonable amount of credit for just formulating or helping say, well, who should be on it, that type of thing.
Al's policy was, we will not be on any compilation albums. Fuck them. We're putting out our own album.
It's funny, you look back on it now, and they were corporate to us.
It was good. I remember being on Newbury Street when the Boston LA record came out. I remember being on Newbury Street and the guys in SSD talking about how awesome Gangrene was on that record because they were just so fucking fast. And they were on time.
Going to that Radio Beat studio, which for us, at the time, we were in a recording studio. Wow, and nowadays, I mean, it was a fucking piece of shit, 8-track fucking hellhole, Any other band in the world would have walked in there and gone, what the fuck is this? It was my first Sony fucking plug-and-play recording studio. But we didn't know any better. It was the first place we'd ever been, and we loved it.
Gangrene, Jerry's Kids, The Freeze, which unfortunately never really got accepted into the hardcore scene, which is awful because I thought they were brilliant. I just thought The Freeze were great. They were a punk band, a great punk band, great lyrics, a lot of fun. That the lyric delivery was snotty and cool.
Well, we had the association with Modern Method anyway, and we were the band they talked to first about it, us and Gangrene.
But I thought that Gangrene and the Freeze were both the bands that probably most had their shit together. I think that proved itself out in the sense that there were people in those bands that they wanted to live this life and they wanted to do it. And they went on for many years in various manifestations. But these are guys that were clearly driven. No matter what, they had to have an audience to say something to, and that with all the fucked up lives and angst they went through, sometimes produces some interesting commentary, which I think they did.
To me, that album felt like it was like, I don't know, it was kind of dissing LA, and we had no problems, or we didn't want to say like, oh, we're better than them, or any of that kind of stuff. And that kind of just, to me, that album was building some sort of controversy, kind of separating the scenes. When, quite honestly, we felt connected. Al and I remember, feeling a connection. Mostly because of the Black Flag thing,
Boston LA title is kind of tribal. I mean, I'm from Boston. I'm proud I'm from Boston. So yeah, this is Boston, not LA. Fuck you.
It's just a little thing written to the emerging scene at the time. It's, if you dance the same and dress the same, won't be long till you are the same. If you look the same and act the same, there'll be nothing new, and you're to blame. This is Boston. Fuck LA when you're going to establish your own identity, try to establish your own identity. Because at that point, Black Flag was the big, when we wrote that, Black Flag was the big role model, for everybody.
But I think it was a good thing overall. It did have to happen, and it's still remembered as being a documentation of the scene today.
I don't belong here. Neither do you. You hear I said, I got a feeling it's something wrong. I got a feeling I don't belong here. Not to you. I don't belong here. What can we do? Go! Got feeling, it's in my head. Who got feeling? You hear I said, I got a feeling that something is wrong. I got a feeling that I don't belong here. What can I do? I don't belong here. Fucking place. Fucking place. Into my head, you got feeling, you lost it. I got a feeling that something is wrong. I got a feeling that I don't belong here. I don't listen. I don't belong here. Not you. Thank you. Who's ready for a great show today, huh? This guy is. I got a good feeling about this one. Because I got a feeling. What's up? What's going on, everybody? It is Sunday Shout-Out Day. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Clank your chains and count your change. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chachos Tacos, and right here in La Ciudad de Nueva York, Generation Records. What's going on? What's going on? Gajewski, my man. That's right. Good to see everybody. Paulie, Frankie Too Far. What's up? My favorite DJ. Yeah, good to see. Al, what's up, Al? Thanks for tuning in. Everybody out there. What's up, Rap Bones? Lenny from Crazy Eddie. Good. The gang's all here. Hi, Jody. Nice to see you too. All right. What's going on in Scotland, Robert? Good. All right. What do you say we have a great show? Got a good feeling about this today. What do we... Where is... I want to mention the next couple of shows. What the hell is that? All right. I tried. Hold on. I'll find it. Hold your horses. Here you go. Next 4 shows coming up. Here we go. Let's clear the deck. Because I got a feeling there's something's wrong. Let me clear all this stuff, all right? What's your rush? I hope you're not in a rush today. Because it's going to be a long one. Coming up next, a week from today. There is no show on Wednesday, but a week from today, Sunday, December 19th, is Kevin Seconds from 7 Seconds. Come on now. That one took a while to land. Wednesday, December 22nd, Mike Bromberg, a.k.a. Mike Bullshit, from Bullshit Monthly Fanzine, SFA, and Go. Sunday, December 26th, it is a mashup show with my co-host, Hoya Rock from Madball. It's the holiday show. We're going to have some special guests. And then Sunday, January 2nd, Charlie Benante from Anthrax is coming on to talk about his passion for the film Jaws. He is a big Jaws enthusiast, as I am too, and perhaps you are as well. We're going to talk about Jaws. We'll talk a little bit about Anthrax, but we're going to get down and talk about the film Jaws quite a bit. That's what it's going to be about. But in the meantime, what's going on with this dude?
What's up?
What do you got? Wi-Fi today?
I got a crisp, clear signal.
Jesus, man. God forbid you should turn the phone this way so you have a wide screen.
No, my head distorts if I do that.
Distort. Hey, I'm distorted. Are you distorted?
I'm distorted.
I'm distorted. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we got those. We got a serious bunch of shows coming up.
Serious. You know what? How about I announce another one just while we're here? Do it. Do you guys know that on Sunday, January 9th, Jay Navarro from the Suicide Machines is on the show? Boom. Huh? There you go. Don't be scared. Jay Navarro. All right. That said, let's do photo of the day, all right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, wrong answers only, please. Photo of the day. Boom. What do we got here? Is it come on now? What do we got? What's happening? Is it the Lunatics? Although they're going to come into play. Is it Lane Stanley and Alice Cooper? Kind of good, Jason. Not bad, bro. Is it Alice Cooper and his golf caddy? Is it the rock and roll induction for the New York Dolls? That's good. Is it Simon and Garfunkel? Is it Kerry King? Well, Alice Cooper's coming up. Is it the Village People? That's a good one. Is it Milli Vanilli? Is it the Village People? Oh, Jamie from SSD Control. Is it Sid and Marty Krofft? Na 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 na.
Remember the Dickies did a cover of that?
1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. Or was that a? Yeah, that was Sid and Marty Krofft, right?
Yeah, but the Dickies did a cover of it.
HR Puffin stuff.
As the Banana Splits theme.
Splits. Yeah, of course. The Dickies did all kinds of stuff like that.
Yep.
All right, let's do another one from that night. All right.
Yes.
From that night.
That night.
That night. How can I forget that night?
The horror.
All right. Photo of the day number 2, which is somehow tied in with photo of the day number 1, right?
Yes.
All right. Here you go.
It's all connected.
Don't get your panties all bunched up. Speaking of panties, boom. Photo of the day number 2. Is it Jimmy G and Cher? All right. There you go. Is it the Smothers Brothers? What were the Smothers Brothers? That was Tommy Smothers.
Smothers and
what was the other Smothers Brothers?
I think it was it Dick Smothers?
Dick. That's an old school name. Like I got a Uncle Richie, and like his old school friends, he's Dick. Like there ain't many dicks out there these days, you know? Is it the gluten-free motherfuckers? Is it the Smothers Brothers again? Is it Babes in Toyland? Is it Taylor Swift and Stevie Nicks? Is it Courtney Love? Is it Motley Crue? All right, kind of. This is a good. You win with this one. Is it Bad Brains? That's good. That's good. This is good too. Is it Johnny and Edgar Winners? Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. All right. Here's another one. All right, let's get to it. Here's another one.
Yeah.
And this one's going to need to be addressed a little bit. Addressed or undressed, depending on, how you're looking at it. But, okay. Seriously, right answers only, please. Does anyone know what this is? Yo, Mike Gitter, shouting out Mike Gitter. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Is it Tuesday Night at Narcissus? Remember that? Of course. Narcissus was like that disco spot in Kenmore Square, right? I remember that place. All right. Is it Paris with the Toilet Boys? Is it the Toilet Boys? Is it Sup? Is it yes? Is it Paris? Explain to us what this is, bro.
All right. Well, we'll start with this picture and work our way back. This is Paris with the Toilet Boys. And this is last night at the Bowery Ballroom, the annual Jesse Malin holiday party. And with basically this one was a benefit for Howie Pyro, who just recently got a new liver. So it was Murphy's Law, as you saw there with Jimmy. Murphy's Law, the Lunatics, the Toilet Boys, Jesse Malin, a band called Capital Punishment, and a whole bunch of other people sprinkled in, that made little appearances here and there. It was a really, really fun night, sold out show. That band Capital Punishment actually featured Ben Stiller on drums, the actor, which was kind of interesting and unexpected. They weren't bad, and
Ben Stiller on drums, huh?
Yeah, which whenever you hear an actor is going to be in a band, usually they're like playing the bass or guitar or whatever, but he was playing. It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't didn't blow me away, but Toilet Boys played a great set. Lunatics played a great set. Jesse Malin in particular played a killer set. It was a really, really good show.
Yep.
And it was for a good cause. And he said that Howie's doing well, considering, in fact, even Jane County sent a video message wishing him well. So it was kind of cool.
So there's a reason we went with this today. And Paris Mayhew apparently took a Luft home and the guitar. And I'm not sure if it was this guitar. I don't know, Paris, if you're watching, I'm not sure if it was this particular guitar he's playing here. But before he could get it out of the trunk, the driver took off. And Paris, his guitar is MIA. But we have the where is this dude? Yeah. This guy here has Paris's guitar. So if you're in New York City and you call a Luft, and you get this dude, Abdelkader, yo, this dude's got Paris Mayhew's guitar in his trunk. Yeah, he's on blast, yo. The New York Hardcore Chronicles page is putting this, the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live is putting this dude on blast. Yep.
Wow.
Dude has Paris's guitar. So dude looks like he's trying to look hard in this picture too. Like, yo, I got Paris's guitar. What are you going to do about it? Like, I'll tell you what we're going to do about it, Abdelkader. If we get our hands on you, we're going to beat your ass and get Paris's guitar back. I mean, that's kind of it, right?
Maybe even beat you with Paris's guitar.
That's right. You know what? I'm going to beat you. I'm gonna beat you with the guitar you tried to who knows, man? I don't know. I don't know what happened if. Who knows? Who knows?
I never heard of such a thing. I mean,
this is unacceptable.
No.
Yeah, it's bad.
That sucks. I mean, especially you come off of playing a show, like everything's great, you just want to go home.
Yep.
And now the night is ruined.
Dude. Hey, who you talking to? Every time I do a show, there's like drama. As soon as it's something, it's drama, I never catch a break, man. Yeah, here's the last one. This is from the last night, the Howie Pyro.
Yeah, that was cool.
Jesse Malin, who played with Howie Pyro in Degeneration, put this benefit together. Howie has some liver issues, and they raised a bunch of money for him. And from what I hear, Howie is doing a bit better. Yeah, no 5-star rating for this dude. He's basically going to get his ass beat.
That's sad news. That really sucks.
Yeah, this world is full of suck.
World
We're
is broken.
surrounded by suck.
It's a bottomless pit.
It's a bottomless pit of suck. All right, bro. Are you gonna chime back in later? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'll be.
And wait a second. Where are you that we have such good reception for a change?
Possibly the best reception I've ever had for a show. I'm in San Remo, which is Kings Park, and I'm at a little Christmas get together. So when I do chime back in, it might be 4 or 5 drinks later. So
all right, go ahead, go have at it, bro.
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, take care. Bye. That's right. You asked for it, you got it. The New York Hardcore Chronicles live. And we are sponsored by I'm not your step-in. I'm Drew Stone. All right, we're sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, and come on now, get your shoes and socks on, kids. It's right around the corner. Organic Grill. It's a vegan restaurant located in East Village, New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, New York Times, and Veg News. The dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burgers, make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties. And every dish on the menu could be made gluten-free. Multipass. This year, they are celebrating the 21st anniversary, and they're all about having a great time while enjoying amazing, clean food. Goddamn electric. They have now fully reopened for business and look forward to seeing you. They're not looking forward to seeing me. They don't give a fuck about me. They're looking forward to seeing you. Get in touch with them. Order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. Also, can you believe it? New York Hardcore Comics opened in 2013, selling comic books, punk rock and hardcore memorabilia, toys, statues, skateboard decks, tapes, vinyl, and all things horror. We love helping bands push their demos and new tracks, so please stop by and drop off your new music, even if your band sucks. We have in-store events like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer tournaments, which I knew nothing about until I did a book signing. I didn't even know what a Warhammer tournament was. But I learned pretty quick when I was up there doing a book signing. They had a Warhammer tournament going on right after my book signing. Plus meet and greets with bands and some live performances. Open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Find us online through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and eBay. Located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. That said, is everybody behaving themselves? There's no news like Veg News. You got that right. What's up, JoJo? I hope you're well. Hope everybody's good. Here we go. Let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guests on. Let's do what we do here on this debacle. All right, where's my intro? Yo Egbo, where's my intro? Yeah, the suckier the better. Listen, if your band really sucks, bring your whack ass shit to New York Hardcore Comics. It'll have a home. All right, enough silliness here. Let's get down. Let me make sure I'm straight here, everybody. All right, today's guests all hail from the Pilgrim State of Massachusetts. They are known for their work in the pioneering first wave Boston hardcore bands, Jerry's Kids, FUs, and Gangrene. They are here with us today to mark the 40th anniversary of the iconic compilation album documenting the early Boston hardcore scene, This Is Boston, Not LA. Please welcome, from Jerry's Kids, Bob Sensi. From the FUs, Bob for Apples. And from Gangrene and Jerry's Kids, Mr. Brian Betzker.
Hey, Drew, thanks for having us.
Hey, what's happening, fellas? Are we ready to have some fun?
We are.
Sure.
What are you, a skinhead now, Bob?
I am.
Oh, good. We can always.
I'm a Drew clone. Drew.
Yeah, finally, 40 years later, right? You didn't shave your head back then, but now you're forced into it. Lori Dawn says hello from Cape Cod. What's up, Lori? Yep, Boston's finest. Cool. So let's do this a second. I want to put up a picture of us. I think all of us are in it together and then I want to kind of go backwards from there. Let me see if I can find this shot. Yeah, there's a couple of us in this one. Huh. All right. Wait, let me just. I know I thought I had. Okay, we'll go with this. Here is what we have here. Hold on, I'm fucking it up.
I hope it's better than this nursing home panorama we got going on right here.
But do you not like it over there? Wow, these are great. These pictures are awesome. Hold on, I'm just trying to.
I can't wait to see this.
All right, here we go. Here is a shot from 1981. Now, Brian, I thought you were in this one, but you're not. But this is, if you look, you see me peeking around the speaker, right? With this look on my face, right? I'm peeking around behind Bob Sensi. Wow. That's Bob Sensi. That's you behind me, and then there's Julie, and then for Apples, that's you. So now, Brian Betzker, you're in a couple of these pictures from the same role as well. But this is obviously Bob for Apples. Why don't you explain where this is?
This is the media workshop, I believe. And I believe this is 99.6% of the Boston hardcore scene back then.
Yep.
Wow, are you sure
it's like SSD is playing?
Wow.
What's that?
It looks like SSD is playing and Springer is testing the structural integrity of the sprinkler system.
Okay, so to follow that up, I have the great backup, the great follow-up picture to that, where with Brian Betzker. Wait, where is that? It's such a winner, man. Where the hell is it? I got so many pictures to show today. Where is it?
So I remember that show. Springer was climbing on the pipes.
Yep.
Almost hung himself.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, he wrapped the cable around his neck. Very, very theatrical.
I think the song was "How Much Water Pressure Can You Take?"
I have the picture of him hanging himself somewhere. Where the hell is it?
Microphone cable strength test.
We thought he was really going to hang himself. It was close.
Here's another one from that. I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, it looks like the same show, but this kind of sums it up in a certain way. That's me all the way on the right, and then you can see a couple of characters, but this was the whole to do. But I want to back it up from here, and let's. Oh, there you are, Brian. You're next behind that speaker there on the right.
Yep, there I am.
Let's start with you, Bob Sensi, and let's back it up from here, because what's crazy, looking at all these pictures, like we were all teenagers. It's all teenagers. And Kevin Porter, who turns up in a couple of these pictures, says like the first show he did, he was like what? No one was buying alcohol. He's like, what am I running, a Chuck E. Cheese? But I kind of want to do the background. Like, how did we end up in this place? So, Bob, tell us about a little bit. How did you end up there? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life? And what brought you into a room like this at such a young teenager?
I don't remember how we got into the media workshop, but I got into music from listening to a lot of music from my parents and picking up the guitar. But and our goal with Jerry's Kids, our first goal was to play in Boston anywhere. And our first show was actually at Cantones. But I don't remember how we got into the media workshop. I think maybe we were approached by Kevin Porter. I think he was trolling us.
I think
how old were you when you picked up the guitar?
Actually 14, and then I put it down and picked it up again around 16 or 17. And I started playing in a band with Rick Jones. and we didn't know how to play at all. We just got these amps and turned them up all the way, and trying to play like the Ramones style, you know. So this is, you know, probably like 1980 when we started, and then the following year Jerry's Kids got together.
Now I believe this is a shot from the first Jerry's Kids show ever.
That is Cantones, yes.
Yeah, and that's you, and then did Paul Fox sing for the first Jerry's Kids show?
I think he did. Yeah, we Brian was really our original singer was really young at the time, so it was kind of hit or miss about him getting to go to a show and play. So we had Paul Fox sub in.
I think I was.
And I like the style choices here for the first Jerry Kids show.
All original.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And is that? I love the fake Strat too. That's you know.
Yeah,
awesome.
I think at that time I was using my sister's hair conditioner.
Yeah.
And the electrical tape. That was nice.
Oh, yeah, the electrical tape.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was all about expression and being an individual. And so I don't know why I put electrical tape on my pants. Maybe because they were ripped.
No,
I like Thomas Stark is what the is that homemade shirt with a drawn Star of David? I don't think it's a star. It looks like a Star of David. Like that. Now that's what's his name playing guitar?
That's Dave Aronson. That
Dave
was
Aronson,
yeah.
That's Dave Aronson, God rest his soul, who passed away recently. And you know, back then we made a lot of homemade shirts, and it does look like a Jewish star, but it says
I think it is. You know, his mother was like his mother called David the Wandering Jew. And one day she's like, "What is this mind-bending music you're playing?" You know.
Now, Brian Betzger, you play drums in this band, and how did this come into play for you? Did you grow up in a musical household, and what drew you to drums?
It wasn't such a musical household. A friend of mine, his brother played the drums, and he always had a drum set down in his basement. So every time I go visit my friend, I'd sneak over and jump on his kit for a little while and just bang on it, and like I was instantly hooked. So at like 1978, when I was 12, I told my parents, I don't want anything for Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody out there.
Yeah,
I don't want anything for Christmas except a drum set. If it's not a drum set under the tree, I don't want to see anything. So I started playing drums when I was 12, and my mother said, "We'll get you a drum set, but you have to start taking lessons." I'm like, "Oh, all right. I guess I can do that." But that got me into a lot of different genres of, like, you know, jazz and different learning all the rudiments and things like that. So you know, that's how it all started.
I mean, I mean, you were young back then, but you looked even younger. Like you looked like
that photo. That's
later. I know that's way later. I know that's
like
later.
5 years after I started, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I was.
How old were you when Jerry's Kids started?
I was probably. I think I was 15. That first show at Cantones that we played.
15.
Which
That's
was a
amazing.
crazy show. We were loading in, and there's people sitting in the restaurant still eating their dinner, and they're like, "What's going on here?" And we're loading in, and they're getting ready to finish up the dinner and getting out, and we ended up playing the show in this little restaurant on Milk Street in Boston. It was, it was a crazy time.
Was
I remember Rick Jones jumping off the stage onto a table, and his guitar cable broke, but he kept playing his bass like. He's like smashing these glasses on the table.
Wait. I found it. Are you ready? Here we go. I found it. Boom. There it is. There's Springer hanging himself at the media workshop. And Brian, Brian, you're sitting there, everyone's just laughing.
Look at that. Wow.
Yep.
Yipes.
Even Al Baril has a smile on his face.
Well,
wow.
Al would be the one you think would be happy with that situation.
No, he looked. Yeah, he's smiling like, "Oh man,
this is a dream come true."
He's got great teeth.
I remember. You know, this is funny. This is like one of the things. This is one of the things that happened when I mean, at the time, I was standing right there. I was probably, I was 18, you know? I remember this like it was yesterday. When Springer hung himself, it was like the funniest thing. You know?
You look at me looking at him like, oh my God, he's going to kill himself.
Yeah, he almost did. Now, I just want to say that these photos, a lot of these photos that we're going to see today are taken by the great Phil and Flash, who was Springer's brother. And that's part of the reason that the Boston hardcore scene has been so well documented in certain regard, because, you know, Springer's brother Phil and Flash took all these great shots. You know?
Can you imagine the photos he has? So it's going to be unbelievable.
I've seen a lot of them. I scanned a lot of them for the Boston hardcore film. That's why I have access to all this stuff. And so for Apples, what about you? Did you grow up in a musical household? Why drums? How did you come into this?
No music in my house. I was always fidgety. And in high school, one of my friends said to me one time we were hanging out, can't you just be still? He said, you're always moving. You should just learn how to play the drums. So I just bought someone's drum set and just started playing in the basement of my house, and never took a lesson, never understood how it's supposed to work. And that's how come I play how I do. Wrong.
That's why you're so good.
It's wrong, but it's wrong, but it's wrong, but it's right. You know,
wrong is right.
Yeah. Any recollections of how we ended up in that room? How'd you fall in with the other guys in the FUs, and how do we end up in the media workshop?
I remember like being at Jerry's Kids show at down on Broad Street there, and it was like they would play a song and we'd get up and we'd like kind of like walk around the room slow motion, like, are we supposed to like touch each other and slam dance? And they'd stop and we'd sit down and we get up again. It's like, what is the proper procedure that we do at this punk rock show? You know? And it's just John and I met through the Phoenix, through the personal ads. And then we just we found Steve Grimes the same way through the personal ads. And we just started getting together. I worked at Boston College High School, and they let us use one of the rooms to practice. So we would practice like on the weekend. And that's just how it started. The media workshop, it was like, I don't know how the first show started there, but that kind of was like the place that we all went to. And it was like the place that we could all go to. You know, it's like I said, it's like you look at those pictures and you're like, oh, look at all the people. No, but guess what? That was all the people.
Yeah. It was a small community.
Yeah.
Between Gallery East and Media Workshop, those were like the two coolest places we could play at. And if you weren't at one, you were at the other. And it was so
the Media Workshop was on the 6th floor, and we had to carry all our equipment up all these stairs all the time.
And absolutely, it's like I grew up in Dorchester, and there was nobody else in Dorchester that was into hardcore. You know, and I'd walk down the street and I'd get spit on, and people would yell at stuff at me and stuff. You know, it's like it was like, and then I'd get there with my friends. I'm like, oh, I'm safe here. I'm safe, you know. And then you get back out in the big cruel world, and people be kicking you, and it was just,
Here's a shot that I took. This is one of my shots. This is a shot from Media Workshop in gotta be, I don't know, 81, 82. And I see that Brian Jones has chimed in, and this is the only shot that I've ever seen of Brian Jones singing for Jerry's Kids.
Wow.
I took it with like a 110 camera maybe or something, but this is Jerry's Kids, and might be probably late 1981, I would think. And you see Jake Phelps on the floor there. You see Jack Kelly from Slapshot, on the far side in the white shirt. I actually took this one. Yep.
That's I see Brian's brother Mick in the front there, right in front of me.
Yep. Yeah, there he is. And then
that's your brother?
Yeah, right in front of Bob.
Oh, I see him in a bunch of these pictures, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was like whenever we played a show, we were all there. Like it was an event.
Yeah.
We'd all pile into a car and have like a trailer of our stuff.
And this
Like a
this
U-Haul.
like this literally could be that show, right? This could be that, like a flyer like this. It's like FU's Gangrene, Jerry's Kids at the Media Workshop on a Sunday at 3:30. I like that. 3:30 p.m. The show starts, and it's $3.
You can't beat that with a stick.
You have to, it's $1 a band. You have to pay $1 a band for this. You know?
One recollection I have about the Media Workshop was I was standing next to this big punk rock dude, and he kept brushing up against me, and he had these wristbands on that were made of like leather and nails, and he's like bumping into me, and it ended up it was Jake Phelps.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jake Phelps did a lot of damage back then.
So I was kind of nervous. I'm like, if this guy starts thrashing around, I think it was this was at Flipper. I don't know if you guys saw Flipper at the Media Workshop. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, I was there. Didn't they play? He played like a couple songs, and the cops shut it down, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, instantly shut down.
I was there. I was there.
Flipper's kind of a dirge band. You know, the tempo is slow, but everyone is going full force, like 100 miles an hour. You know, like so it was nuts.
Okay.
But that photo, that flyer was a typical flyer that you'd see every weekend. Like you got the FUs, you got Gangrene, you got Jerry's Kids. It was just in different orders, like who was headline or who was going on. Like we were all playing the same shows.
Right.
And I have to say that this is a Steve Grimes flyer. And you
Yes.
had like it said in the Boston Hardcore film I did, you had like the Al Baril flyers, you had the Choke flyers, and then you had the Steve Grimes flyers. Steve Grimes made some great flyers.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He really did. Here, going into because I have this huge archive of stuff just that was used in the Boston Hardcore film. And like I said, when I go on plane flights with this computer, I open it up and I label everything so I could find stuff like this real fast. This is the flyer for Flipper at the Media Workshop.
Oh wow!
Look at that. Flipper, Friday afternoon, March 5th at 3. This one started early. It started at 3.
Wow.
It was
SSD played. Wow.
Get a load of this lineup. Flipper, SSD, and the Wild Stairs. Excuse me?
Wow.
I remember that name, but I forget what they sounded like.
Me too. Gitter, you remember the Wild Stairs? It's like something like Gitter would remember. The Wild Stairs.
The singer's voice I remember was a little hoarse.
Right.
Good one, Bob.
But yeah. So I remember that's the show, I think, where Jay Johnson put the milk crate over his head.
Oh, priceless.
You remember that?
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. Here's another one.
In the room.
Here's another one from that era, just so I could put across, what these Media Workshop shows were like. Jerry's Kids, the Freeze and the FUs this one started at 3:30, and it says "You Will Slam."
Oh yeah, I actually made that flyer.
Oh yeah, this one's you.
Yeah, I did. This is before I learned how to copy and paste. I was just using a marker.
The big fat magnums.
But who can forget at the Media Workshop, the FU's doing "Daddy's Taking Us to the Zoo."
It was one of my favorite songs as a child. I was glad to perform it and share it with the scene.
So the FUs would play their set, and then at the end,
no. Jamie says SSD ended up not playing.
Oh wow.
Oh okay.
Because the flyer wasn't up to par, Bob.
I didn't.
And of course, Gitter says the Wild Stairs were great.
Mike.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody said the Wild Stairs were. Wait. Somebody said. Yeah. The Hobo Hike says Wild Stairs were a Propeller Records art punk band. Yeah, I kind of remember that. Yeah, female-fronted post-punk band on Propeller Records. Okay.
So I have a question for Brian, actually, if you don't mind.
Sure. Why not?
So as I mentioned, when me and Rick Jones were in high school, we had a band. It was called the Insects, and I think we played like a party, and that was it. But anyway, our drummer moved away, and we joined forces with Brian Jones, Brian Betzker, and Dave Aronson, and so you guys were already jamming together. Were you guys called Jerry's Kids, or did you have a different name?
No, it wasn't Jerry's Kids at that point. I don't remember what the name was. I remember once we all got together with you and Rick, the Chris Knowles came up with the name Jerry's Kids.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering where the name came from.
Yeah, Chris came up with that name. It was kind of, I don't even remember how we all got together, but yeah, it was. I guess it was meant to be.
You know, here's another one. Just we're on the flyer tip here. This is an interesting one. This one here. This is Gangrene, the FUs, Jerry's Kids, the COs, which is the band I was in, DYS at the A7 in New York. I don't have a recollection of this one.
Wow, I don't either.
Who knows, man? I mean, and the date on this is like something 82. Like you figure I'd remember coming down and playing the A7 in 1980. I don't remember this.
I remember seeing the CEOs at Chet's Last Call.
Yeah, that was later. Yeah,
I can't remember what show was it. Maybe it was this one that we were driving down a van. There was a bunch of us, and we were in Connecticut, and we were approaching Hartford. And Mike Dean, the drummer for Gangrene, jumped up and pointed to the skyline of Hartford and went, "New York City, New York City."
Wow, Drew, do you remember what was the A7? Do you know that club is?
Of course, yeah. It's the birthplace of New York hardcore. We were just doing shows there recently. It was the place to play back then, and the guy, it's still around.
Wow. I'm sorry to interrupt, Drew. Was this the show that you drove us down?
No,
I know you drove Jerry's Kids and the FUs in your red van.
Really? What was that?
Yeah,
might have been.
You wouldn't break the speed limit. It was a very long drive.
I remember sitting way in the I was sitting way in the back of the van with Bob, and like you wouldn't even turn on the heat.
You know, I think my mentality then about the speed limit was I was just so worried about getting pulled over, and you know that I would never speed. I would never speed. But you're right. I don't think would break the speed limit. Yep.
I remember Bob for Apple saying, "Oh look, there goes a turtle."
Hey, Dave.
Okay,
what?
Because it was so cold in the van, was all this breath coming out the windows of fog.
How do you remember this?
Because we wrote on the back window, "Help me."
Oh, that's funny.
That might have been the show though, because
that is so funny. Help me, we're dying in here.
So that wasn't the Philly trip. We didn't go to New York.
No, I don't think so.
No, we did a show where we were all in the red van.
That might have been the A7 show. I just don't. Here, Dave Scott from Adrenaline OD says, "I have a recording of the FUs at the A7 Club I got from Steve Grimes. Hi, guys from AOD."
Oh, yeah. We loved AOD.
Yeah, you guys and them were like, you guys were like paisans, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, moving right along. You know, another Jerry's Kid memory I have is an early Jerry's Kid show with the original singer Brian. Like, didn't he break his leg or his ankle or his foot at one of the shows? And then his parents were like, "That's it, it's over," right?
That was at the Gallery East.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. You're the singer in a band. He broke his arm, right? Like, and then
no, I think he broke his ankle.
Oh, broke his ankle.
I sort of remember. I remember it as an ankle or a foot. You know.
Oh, he got home. His parents weren't happy with him. That was it. That was the end of Brian and Jerry's Kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So Brian was really young. He was like 14.
Yo, you know what was really awesome about early Jerry's Kids? You had like this little kid singing for you. It was like the band was called Jerry's Kids, and the singer was like how old? 12?
No, he was like 14 when he.
Bro, he looked like he was 12 or 11. You know. Here's another flyer of all of us playing together. FU's Gangrene, CO's Jerry's Kids. You know, and this is of course at Gallery East. You know, so
Wow.
but when Brian got hurt and left the band, his brother Rick took over eventually, but this guy did a couple shows, right?
Yes, that's Joe Arancio.
Joe Sackout.
Sackout, yes.
There he is. There's Brian. Knee, Media Workshop.
Oh,
it was his. That's what I thought. It was his knee at the Media Workshop. Oof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a nice shot of Dave Aronson right there.
It is. There he is. Yep.
He was into it.
Yep. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, and there. Yeah, and I love the homemade shirts that you see in there. The SOA homemade shirt. You know.
So yeah, it was tough when Brian left because we had to fill the gap, and we tried out singers. We were trying out bass players because maybe Rick was going to lead sing. We didn't really know what we were going to go, which way we were going to go. And I met Joe, and I asked him if he wanted to like try out or jam or whatever.
Right.
And so we just got into the routine of rehearsing with him, and we actually did a recording for songs that we were working on. So this is probably like, it was at Radio Beat. We did like 6 or 7 songs, and I don't know. After listening to the recordings, it seemed like too much of a departure from what we were used to. So we ended up having Rick Jones sing on those recordings. So
do those recordings still exist?
Yeah, someone posted them.
With Joe singing?
No, it's with Rick.
Yeah.
It's the time when we.
But I'm talking about the recording. The recording with Joe singing. Do those exist?
I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't even remember those recordings. But once Rick took over, that's when I think Jerry's Kids really hit their stride. And
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the material it's kind of a cross between This Is Boston, Not LA, and Is This My World, which makes sense because it was the end of '82, I think, when we recorded it. And
some of those turned up. A couple of those songs turned up, right?
Tear It Up, We Don't Need It.
Yeah. Sure. So where is? Let me find. Here we go. So that brings us. That's all the background that kind of brings us to this. Boom. And so let's talk about this a little bit. And for Apples, do you remember how this came to be? Were you guys approached or like about this?
At first, we were not approached. SSD said they didn't want anything to do with it. So then Newbury Comics were looking for another band. They asked us to do it. So we did it. And the first time we recorded, it was horrible. It was unusable. So we said, let us record our stuff over again and we'll pay for it ourselves just to get it on the record. And that's how we ended up on the record because SSD failed.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when the FUs on the record proper, Preschool Dropouts, Radio, Unix, USA, Green Beret, and Time Is Money, Joe Rockhead played bass. Who's Joe Rockhead?
That was Wayne's stage name, which didn't catch, so he went back to his birth-given name.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was John Sox played bass, and then you got Wayne after this.
Originally there was the three of us,
right?
John, Steve, and myself, and then we added Wayne. By the time we came to record,
makes sense.
Is there a reference to the Flintstones with that?
Yes, exactly.
Well, we they all can't be upper deck home runs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So wait, it's kind of like Chavo in Black Flag.
Yeah, right. Kind of. Bob Sensi, Jerry's Kids, Straight Jacket, Uncontrollable, Wired, Desperate, Pressure, and I Don't Wanna. I listened to this as I was getting ready for the show, and the Jerry's Kids stuff just kills on it. Do you have any recollection of how you were approached, why you were approached, and where you recorded this stuff?
Yeah, we were approached by the Modern Method guys, John Brewster and Mike Dries.
Yep.
And we recorded at Radio Beat. And I remember at Radio Beat, they had like this outer room, this inner room where the soundboard was, and then the studio. So we'd set up in the studio, and then when it got time to do the vocals, the vestibule room, which is in between all these rooms, they shut all the doors, and Brian sang those songs in the dark, in complete darkness. Yeah.
I remember. I think I remember this. Yeah. Betzger, any memories of this?
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy time. Like I was like 14, like maybe 15 years old. So I'm like, wow, we're going into the studio to make an album. Like, wow, I'm gonna be famous. Like I'm a rock star. But, but it was like we were going into ERS on like on a weeknight, and we're loading in, setting up, and we're just like recording in a studio during the week, like from whatever 6 till midnight or some crazy hours, and we're going in there and just banging out the songs. And yeah, but we were kind of ready for it, not really, but it was crazy. It was something we'd never experienced before.
It's great. Hey, this just in, everybody. Paris Mayhew just texted me.
Uh-oh.
Yo.
He's got his guitar back.
Hey, Paris.
Yo, the driver is on his way back to me now. Thanks for the mention on your show. I think the posting and persistent contact forced Luft to get their driver to return it. Thank you all, Paris.
Wow.
What's up? Yo, this is Wow. Yo, this is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Perhaps you have something you've lost. You can't find it. Just let me know. Send a picture. We will get it back for you.
I lost my cat. I need my cat.
mind.
Yeah, right. Excuse me. I've lost my virginity. Can you help me? Sure.
I bet you're getting a lot of likes right now. Like.
Yeah.
No, that's good news, Paris. Good news.
Absolutely. Yeah. How about
I remember recording at Radio Beat. I was excited because Captain Nemo's was down the street, and I could run down the street in Kenmore Square and get pizza. That was what I was very excited
Captain Nemo.
about.
The amount of time we spent in Captain Nemo's, man.
Yeah.
Let me see. That said, let me see. Here's another ad for the record. I just want to mention that Mike Gitter says total game changer and roadmap to some of the nuances of the Boston Mass hardcore. I was in Newbury Comics at the original location, a bit up Newbury Street when boxes of Boston Not LA first came in.
Wow.
And I had a test pressing of this back in the day, and this is when test pressings, nobody even cared or knew. You know what it was to me? It was a friggin' record without the proper cover, you know? So I probably threw it out, It was like I had one of the original test pressings of this, and I probably was like, yo, this has no cover. You want it?
That's probably priceless these days.
Oh, unbelievable. Yep. Kevin Haggerty says, I lost the bag of hundreds.
So this is advertising the follow-up single.
Yeah. Right. So
7-inch, whatever.
So, who's fucking calling me? Hold on a sec. Dick Manitoba's. Hey.
We'll wait.
On. Hey, Dick. Yo, I'm in the middle of doing my show right now.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm just calling you on the phone.
All right, brother. I'll call. You're on the air. You want to say hi to anybody?
I want to say hi to everybody on your show and in the Drew Stone world that treats you with love and respect, and wish you a healthy, happy, and more importantly, lucky holiday.
Bro, we are honored. I love you, Dick. I'll talk to you soon.
Please give me a call.
All right. Dick Manitoba from the Dictators, everybody. Check it in.
That was very touching.
Listen,
He's a great guy. I met him at his bar years ago.
Yeah, he's an interesting character for sure. Absolutely. I want to, but before we get on to Unsafe at Any Speed, I want to talk about a couple of the other bands that are on This Is Boston, Not LA. And one of the bands that are on there that really stand out to me are the Freeze. And the Freeze are an interesting band because at the time, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience, like I didn't really give the Freeze the respect that they deserved at the time. I was sort of in the SSD Control camp, and with blinders on, and we sort of didn't really like the Freeze, but in retrospect, I really appreciate them for the great band that they were. And also, I got to say that, they were around, they put out this 7-inch I Hate Tourists a couple years before this. So in a way, the Freeze was like really one of the original sort of hardcore punk bands in Boston. Any thoughts on the Freeze, Sensi?
I agree. They were one of my favorite bands too. And I don't know, they played the Galleries and I went and saw them play. I mean, it didn't matter what the agenda was or anything. I just wanted to see them.
Yeah, they were early on. They were probably before all of us, but they were down the Cape, so it wasn't really considered like part of the Boston scene. They had kind of their own thing going down on the Cape. But
yeah, we played down the Cape at the Mill Hill Club, Gangrene and Jerry's Kids.
Yeah,
great shows down there at the Mill Hill.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. Looking back, I sort of cringe. Like my teenage mentality and behavior. It was just, I didn't give them the time of the day. And in retrospect,
why?
Because I was a fairly ignorant and obnoxious teenager that really, fell in with the SSD Control crew and had blinders on. It was like SSD Control and everything else kind of sucks. And yeah.
But they were from the Cape, so that whole I Hate Tourists thing, like the Cape, like they get infiltrated every summer by tourists, like, and the Freeze were from there. They lived there. That's where they lived, and they hated.
You know what it is too. I think it was like we had our sort of, I don't want to say scene, but even the media workshop thing. Like I would see you guys all the time. Like we would all, every weekend, we'd all be, those guys who were out on the Cape, they were sort of, I hate to say, but like they were sort of perceived sort of as outsiders, sort of, at least, to a couple of us, and
I think that's true. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because they didn't look hard.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Right.
And
they used to tag it as Cape Cod Hardcore.
Yeah.
CCHC or something like that.
Al, our friend Al says their first album, Land of the Lost, is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and also I got to say, Heg says back then the band you claimed was like a gang affiliation, which is kind of true,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jamie from SSD Control says all good guys. Not sure why that schism existed. It was weird in retrospect, Cliff wrote some great stuff, and I gotta say, like, as far as on the Boston Not LA record, the Freeze songs, my personal favorites: "Trouble If You Hide," "Time Bomb," and "Broken Bones." They're freaking great.
Oh, great stuff! Yeah, they were more of like a punk band. They weren't really hardcore.
Yeah,
they were like straight up.
There was a difference. I remember seeing SSD and I think Negative FX for the first time, and the skinhead, I mean, shaved head, and the dance was, kind of like a different dramatic type thing to watch.
I think also SSD with the straight edge thing, and the Freeze guys were not straight edge at all. Yeah.
Back then, you were a skinhead by choice, not by nature. You know,
Interesting. Gitter says Jimmy Johnson really made a point to polarize them, forced exposure. That could be it. You know, yeah. At a certain point, they got sort of alienated, and they sort of like.
I don't think Jimmy was a fan of Jerry's Kids either. Like he would never mention us, or I think Brian. There was a picture of Chris Doherty and Brian Betzger is in the picture wearing a Jerry's Kids shirt, and he blocked it out and put Gangrene.
Wow.
On his fanzine.
There you go. Yeah. Let's take a break. Let me shout out some sponsors and do a couple things, and we will continue on our journey in about 10 minutes. Okay. I'll see you guys in a few.
Okie doke.
All right. What's happening? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Paris Mayhew got his guitar back. Definitely good stuff. Thank you, Tom. Moving and grooving on this Sunday. It is Shout Out Sunday. We are sponsored by Oh, this. You know, I got it. Yeah. All right. Sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, and the Texas Silver Rush is your jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Yo, this is crazy. Check this out. Hold on, let me clear this. Let me clear the deck. Get a load of this. All right. Chain Reaction Records. This is the intro for this. Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, located in Lakewood, Colorado, is the Rocky Mountain headquarters for all things punk, hardcore, and metal. Established in 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories between Chicago and LA. From the pit to the ditch, they got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. That said, I want to shout out Josh's daughter, Evelyn. Evelyn, where is the shot of Evelyn? Evelyn. Here we go. Get a load of this. Let me clear the deck. Josh from Chain Reaction Records' daughter, Evelyn, works at BC Surf and Spot at Southwest Palace in Denver. Apparently, some dude came in and tried to steal a snowboard, and she is 5'3", and this dude that is 6'4" took the snowboard and like a bat and hit her on the side of the head and cracked her. She got to see the security video, and it shows her grabbing the snowboard from him and threw it on the ground. She doesn't even remember it. Then dude got tackled by a Good Samaritan guy, and she got taken in a stretcher. It's shout out. So I'm shouting out Evelyn, Josh from Chain Reaction's daughter. Yo, what kind of a 6'4" dude cracks a young girl in the face with a skateboard? Like, yo, what's going on in this world today, man? Unbelievable. And then I asked Josh what kind of charges he said is dude looking at. Felony aggravated robbery, felony assault with serious bodily injury, felony assault, and assault on police. Yo, dude got jiggy with it. So a coward. That's right, Scott. Yeah. So yo, we're shouting out everybody down there, and Josh and his whole family and everybody at Chain Reaction. And yo, Evelyn, you could come on the show anytime you want, and we could talk about it. You know, unbelievable, man. What's wrong with this world, man? 6'4" guy. Fucking animals, man. Animals. They're animals. That said, I want to mention What else? Yo, I got to mention my Patreon. It's been a while. Yo, and everybody, I want to shout out my latest patrons. Let me put it up. Let me get it up. I want to shout out my new patrons: Andrew Bender, Johnny Rock, Sebastian Gorgone, Scott Soledar, Eben Denton Walker, and Marla Standing Owl. Yo, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. You're enabling this to happen. You are responsible for this happening. Seriously. I put a lot of work in this, and you enable me to do it. So I really appreciate it. Well, I told you what happened. What are you popping in and out? Someone tried to steal a snowboard and cracked her in Denver. You know? Yeah, guy needs some street justice. Absolutely. So there's the Patreon. And also, you know, the book, the New York Hardcore Chronicles, Volume 1, 1980 to 1989, is coming out very soon. It's being shipped this week. And that's the back of it. Let me show you the front of it. Here's the front and the back. How's that? Pre-orders are up now. This is the second printing of the book. Don't be scared. If you are a patron, this book is free for you. I know a lot of you people know that, but if you are a patron and you haven't got one, reach out to me. All you got to do is give me shipping. I think it's $7 in the States or $24 to go overseas, free for patrons. If you are not a patron and you want to order the book, it is available at www.stonefilmsnyc.com. It's $24.95. They are all numbered and signed by the author, which happens to be me. It ships a week. It ships on this Saturday. So don't be shy. Buy the book. Support the show. You know, all that. Oh, I'm not popping in and out. Just popped in. Lucky you. What's up, John Socks? Yeah, there you go. You love yours. Well, good. Order the book. Support the show. I want to mention also, hey, want to mention Scott, are you out there? Yeah. I want to mention this event that's coming up on Saturday. This Saturday, here in New York City, we are doing a holiday event. We are excited about it. It is being co-hosted with the Women in the Pit. It is a get together at Generation Records. I'm going to have the book just in time for the holidays. Organic Grill is providing food, and we are super excited. A live performance by Scott Helland, Guitar Me of One. And, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here he is. What's up, Scott?
What's up, Drew? How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Good. I am psyched for that show. It's going to be fun.
I'm excited that you're coming into New York and you're going to be a part of this thing.
Yeah, I'm going to bust out some instrumental acoustic guitar music.
Yeah.
I'm the old school punk. People are playing instrumentals now.
Oh, you're one of those guys like Kevin Seconds, right? Who's coming on the show next. Yeah.
Right.
I get it. But you know, I'm a big fan of what you do. You know that. You know.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So what? It's Saturday. This Saturday.
This Saturday, 5 to 8, Generation Records.
Yep. And you're coming down. You live in New York State these days, right?
Yep, upstate. I'm up in Murderers Row territory, up in upstate, near New Paltz, Troy, that area up here. Yeah.
Troy, New York. We've met the enemy, and the enemy is us. You know. Hey, was Boston, not LA, a bit of an influence on you growing up in Massachusetts?
Absolutely, and I got that record right here. It was
nice. Let me see.
I think I took a bus to Boston from Westfield, Mass, where I grew up, to go to Newbury Comics and buy that record. Buy this record. This is the very record. It's still in good condition. There's the back of it. You're asking about that before.
Yeah, let me see the back. You know what? Where's Sensi? Let me ask Bob. Hey, Bob.
Yeah?
Hey, who did this artwork on the back of this record?
Oh boy, that was one of Rick Jones's drawings.
Right. I remember that. It was Rick Jones from Jerry's Kids, right?
So somehow we didn't submit it. Like we didn't say, "Oh, we want this to be the back cover." we had no say in it. But I think Mike Dries saw the picture and he was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
How did he see it? How did he get it?
I think maybe it was like on a flyer or something. I'm not sure. Maybe have Rick down and ask him. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. Let's bring Bob Frapples and Betzker back on too. Hey, what else you got, Scott, from that era?
From that era,
You're like one of these dudes. You're one of these dudes that still has all the original records he bought back then.
I do. On this Boston Not LA record, when I was a kid, my father was like, "Oh, you gotta put on all your records when they're purchased." I don't know. Can you see that right there? What does it say?
Wow.
Oh, it's upside down. Boston Not LA, Main Street Records. Okay, I got it in Northampton. April. Let's see, you can't see that. All right. Anyway, it says April 30th, 1982.
Your dad said you should write on your records where and when you bought them.
Yep. So I did it.
That's brilliant.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I have his jazz record collection right here because he's not around anymore. But anyway, so what else do I got? Oh, I got this.
Oh, hey, Brian Jones. Yo, here's the answer to it. Brian Jones says it was on a flyer. It was on a flyer that drawing. Yeah.
Who did Rick draw those, or did Brian draw them? Was it Rick?
No, Rick,
Brian, was it you or Rick? He'll answer.
It was Rick.
Rick. he
was the genius behind the band.
The stick people were awesome.
Yeah, hey, show the Unsafe at Any Speed because we want to talk about that.
Yep.
So this, I guess, what's on the back of that? Yeah, of course. Yep.
Machine Gun.
So this came out like a couple months later, and this was like This was a couple of tracks. There was a Jerry's Kids track, Machine Gun. Oh, there's Mr. B, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did Mr. B produce this thing?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Cool.
He recently passed away, I guess, too.
Yeah, he did. He was a kind soul, Mr. B.
Oh, great guy.
Yeah, he was I remember him at the gallery. He's in some of the pictures at the Gallery East pictures, standing there with his overcoat on and I saw him years later and I was like,
I think he came to the Middle East to see Jerry's Kids' second last show.
Is that right?
Yeah, it didn't fit in whatsoever.
2018.
Yeah. But that Unsafe at Any Speed was really like, I guess it did so well that they put out a 7-inch with some of the extra tracks, or is that fair to say? Leftover tracks?
Yeah, I guess it was leftovers.
Yeah, that was a total marketing thing, trying to take advantage of the success.
Capitalize.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of songs, and there was a bunch that I wrote, and I wasn't really a good songwriter. But anyway, they ended up picking all of Rick's songs. Well, they picked 2 of mine, and so they had extra songs, and so they wanted to do some sort of follow-up. So.
You know what's great on that record? My Machine Gun's great, and Refrigerator Heaven by the Freeze is really, really good, man. I listened to it today. God damn, man, that's really
amazing.
good.
And it's
really
not the Alice Cooper song.
No,
Alice Cooper has a song that the same title, but
right.
But this is amazing. Yeah.
Hey, Scott, a question from Arthur Perro. I wonder if any old Deep Wound footage exists.
I know people filmed something somewhere. I've never seen it. I'd love to see that stuff.
Yeah.
Outstations played with Black Flag at UMass, and they filmed the whole show. Never seen it. That stuff just gets lost in the cracks,
Hey, speaking of that, I want to go back to one of these media workshop pictures here. Look at this media workshop picture, and you see the guy with the camera to Al Brill's, to his right. Look, who is this guy, and where is that footage?
Right, he's got footage.
Like, could you imagine? I mean, somewhere that looks now that looks like a Super 8, like a Super 8 millimeter camera, but like There's anybody recognize this guy out there? Who is that guy, and where is that footage?
He must have some good footage because he was right there on scene.
This guy probably threw it. He probably threw it out 30 years ago. You know?
Right.
Right? Probably chucked it 30 years ago.
Probably.
That's horrible, man. So, I mean, was it Bob Sensi? I mean, it must have been exciting to have this material out as a teenager, right?
Oh yeah, I was blown away, and I remember talking to Mike Drees. I'm like, maybe we should have a lyric sheet. Maybe we should have our names, like who wrote what, you know. And he was like, okay. So
yeah, and it was all very informative, right? I mean, it was all, you know, it was one of those compilations back then that you open it up and it's like all the info was there. It was really well put together, very informative.
I said something like we should include our addresses too, because I got a bunch of fan mail still.
Fan mail from back then?
Yeah.
No way. Let's see. Hold it up.
Do you want to hear one of them?
Wait, hold it up to the camera. Let's see it.
Oh.
Let's just see. Yeah, let's hear one. Let's
I
hear
have,
one.
I have a few of these, but I don't want to read all of them. So
no, read one. Pick one out and read it.
Okay, this one is actually from Chris Timms from Allenhurst, New Jersey. Jerry's kids, yo, what's up? Well, of course I went to see you when you played New York. I really dig Boston HC. I want to apologize the way the New York Skins act. They are real fuckfaces. I hope you accept my apology. Because I don't want you to hate all the people who go to CBGBs like me. I was wondering if you could send me some Jerry's Kids stickers for my skate deck. Because like I said, Boston is happening and I'd be the only kid around with cool stickers. I have some cool ones already. To be truthful, I'm the only kid in my school who has HC stickers on my deck, JFA, Faction, FUs, Glenn Danzig, Agnostic Front, Circle, Jerks, GBH, but I need Jerry's Kids. I need a Jerry's Kids sticker to make it complete.
What was the key word there? Fuckface? Is that what he referred to us as here in New York at the time?
No, he's apologizing for the audience. He says, I went to see you in New York. I really dig Boston hardcore. I want to apologize for the way the New York Skins act.
Okay.
They are real fuck faces.
Yeah, fuck faces.
Do you want to see it?
We're fuck faces. Hold on, let's see. Here you
Well,
go.
are you a New York Skin? I mean,
no. At the time, I think I was up there with you guys. I came back to New York. New York. Yeah, Alberil says, New York fuckface. Yeah, that's. I think I came back. I came up to Boston at the end of the summer of 1981 to go to Emerson College. Although I probably spent 5 minutes going to school because I went to the media workshop and my life made a left turn. And so I went up at the beginning of the
schooling.
Yeah, you know, I went at the beginning, at the end of the summer. I went up in like July of '81, and then I came back to New York after crapping out in school. The beginning May of '83. So it was basically, you know, almost 2 years. Now here's a picture of you guys playing CBGBs, right, Bob?
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's Dave on guitar. So this is probably after Is This My World? So it's probably 1984.
Yep.
When Is This My World came out, we played CBs and the place was completely full. There were people on the stage. We couldn't even move. I felt like I was on a crowded bus and I was getting really antsy because I couldn't move and do the Rock and Bob show. That shot there that you see there with Dave Aronson, that's like a year later. And unfortunately, that show was the same day as the Jets were in the Super Bowl. So there was hardly anyone there for that.
What's going on? What's going on here?
I got bowling shoes on. I got cook pants and a Gumby shirt.
And your guild. You're
I'm doing some break dancing.
Do you still have that guild?
No, I wish I did. I forget
Yeah, that
why.
guild, that guild was that guild was great.
We
Yeah, it was
called
cool.
it the coffee table.
I liked it because it was unique. It wasn't like, it wasn't a Gibson. It wasn't a Fender. So, yeah, we called it the coffee table. I didn't really like the finish at first.
The finish on it was like beautiful. Best you've ever seen.
Now I think is that Rick behind you? Or
It looks like Dave maybe. Or
okay, I thought this was so what I want to bring up here, Brian Betzger, is This My World, which is absolutely, well, I guess in my opinion, just a completely incredible record that has held up. And when I did the Boston hardcore film, I guess it was like almost 10 years ago, it gave me a chance to go back and revisit, a lot of this stuff. And it was, it was 10 years ago. There was a couple years where, I was on to other things. So when I started doing the film, I circled back and really revisited. And the one thing that absolutely not only held up, but really shined was Is This My World? Incredible drumming, incredible record. Any memories of that, Brian?
yeah, it was pretty amazing. I mean, I never set out to do what I did on that record. It just kind of all fell into place. One of my biggest drum faves back then was like Stuart Copeland, like Keith Moon, Louis Bellson. So they kind of all rolled up into one big ball and ended up on a hardcore record. But it was like, yeah, I go back and listen to that now, and it's like, wow, it's just brutal. It's amazing. Like, it's a fury. It's just nonstop from beginning to end, every song. And I impressed myself just going back to listen.
Hold on one second. I like the Stuart Copeland reference here, because here's a shot of you, and I think this is a little bit earlier maybe than Is This My World, but you're wearing a Police shirt here.
Oh yeah, yep. I was a huge Stuart Copeland. He's one of the reasons I got into playing drums, and probably toward me in a direction that I went into. And yeah, I mean, that the Jerry's Kids This My World record is like world renowned. Like it still baffles me like how I did it all and what was going on there, but it's just it was a great time, and it just worked out. It's good stuff.
Mike Gitter says, so totally ahead of its time, Jerry's Kids became Boston's Black Flag. Disciplined, incredibly played, and gut punch personal. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, Is My World is an absolute monster record. I love that record. Is so great, man. Bob Sensi, any recollections?
Well, I have a question for Brian, and then I have recollections. My question to Brian is, this was recorded in the summer of '83, I think. And did drummers have double kicks back then? Because a lot of comments, a lot of comments about the drumming is he playing double kick? So, like, how did you engage on the kick drum on those recordings?
No, that was single back then. Maybe like 5 or 6, 7, 8 years later, I got into double kick, but that was all single kick. But it was just an onslaught of like single strokes and just double strokes and nonstop. I kind of played my own technique on the hi-hat and snare, which was kind of just like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, which led me to do the fast rolls and just come back to it and just keep going with it.
Wow.
But yeah, there was not a lot of double bass, and there was just like one kick, like boom, 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 and but it was all the hands, like just keep going and going and going. Some little breaks, like some little jazz things mixed in there and stuff, but it was just all single strokes and kind of faking the hi-hat. I wasn't going like, it was too fast to do like doubles on the hi-hats and keep up with the snare drum. So it was just like boom, 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 boom.
I was like, this jazz drummer took a wrong turn. What is he doing here? It's like,
this is the wrong gig.
There's never been anyone else like you ever in hardcore, Brian. It is like it is impossible to replicate what you do.
Wow.
And,
thanks, Bob.
I want to mention also, I mean, Is This My World was put out on the Exclaim imprint, and before that was Kill for Christ, the FU's record, which had the Pusshead cover. Any recollections on that? Oh, there you go. Hold that up. Good. Now I don't have to go look
Oh,
for the
nice.
picture. Hold that up. There you go. What's on the back of that? Yeah, Jake Phelps. Jake Phelps standing on someone's head. Right? Yep.
Nice, Jake. Look at Jake.
Any recollections on that record, Bob?
Yeah,
For Apples? Yeah.
Well, we recorded that wherever we recorded it, south of Boston somewhere, and the guy was totally not into it, and it was like that's how come it sounds so early hardcore, because I can't even remember what the guy's name was, Larry Lessard or something, and it's just we didn't know what we were doing, and we just did the best that we could, and Pushead was a friend, through mail and over the phone, and we asked him, could you do a album cover for us, Jesus, with the machine gun? He said, okay, I'll do this, and he sent it to us, and that's how it happened.
Wow,
that's great. That's great. Yes,
I used to answer all, like Bob, like I used to answer all our fan mail, and what I used to do is I used to stuff the envelopes with flyers, and Pushead would always say, send me flyers, send me flyers. So I would send him mail back to Idaho filled with flyers, and he'd have to go to the post office to pay the additional postage because it showed up and it didn't. I didn't put enough stamps on the
and Pushead was in Ohio?
Oh no, Idaho.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Scott?
It's on here. It says send orders, hate mail, sperm samples, etc. to Dorchester. I shouldn't say that.
I used to. Here's a story. Every Saturday, I used to go to my local bank where one of the tellers was my brother's friend, so he knew me because all the checks are made out to the FUs or Bob for Apples. So I put it into my bank account, and then I'd walk about a mile away to the post office where there was this one post office clerk that I explained what was going on. I'm mailing out these records, blah, blah, blah. And so I had this whole routine every Saturday, and it was like these people, didn't care about the hardcore music or anything, and that I looked different, but it was like, okay, here's Saturday. Oh, here comes that guy. He's dropping off all these checks. He's mailing out a bunch of records, and I used to answer every fan letter back then.
That's awesome.
And
just for the record, Gitter, Al Burrell, and John Sachs all say it's Boise. He was in, I guess, Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho. Got it. Thanks, fellas. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And Sean McNally chimes in and says Larry Lessard is still around. He actually used the FUs as a positive reference a few weeks back. Okay. So there you go.
Positive. There was, I can't remember what song it was. It didn't work, and we were having a problem with the recording. And he went into the one of the rooms, and he was fiddling around with the wires. What it was is he had forgot to plug in some of the cables for the microphones. And so we watched him, and then when he came back in, we said, "Oh, what was wrong?" And he said, "Minor technicality or something like that." I think he was smoking pot the whole time that we were recording.
Here's Gitter says the one thing that gets overlooked about the FUs is how much you guys toured. Most Boston bands didn't do that. Any word on that for Apples? I mean, you guys went out and did some road work back then, right?
We did 2 tours across the country and a lot of like 4-day weekend shows and stuff in the Northeast. Wish we could have done more, but it was a total different world back then. Everything was just faith-based, show up at this place, there's going to be a show. You get there and like, okay, there is a show, and you meet people you don't know. You only talk to them on the phone or you wrote to them in a letter. And, now everything is you're texting and talking to everyone every minute. Back then it was just like, okay, we're going to Toledo. We go to this address. We go to some kid's basement. There's going to be people there. We're going to have a show.
Here's a show. Here's a picture that I took. I mean, these have been around. They've turned up in a couple books or two, but this is interesting. I took these shots when I was out on the road with you guys. That's Katie, the cleaning lady's station wagon.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think
the
so.
low
There must have been
society mobile.
the low society mobile. How many of us in this station wagon? The 4 in the band, me and Katie. That's 6 right there, and all the equipment.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we stayed at her mom's house in Suffern, New York on that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the flyer.
Yeah.
There's a CO's flyer taped on the back of the vehicle. I gotta find that. Hold on. Let me find that flyer, man. Hold on. We gotta find that flyer.
Great hair, Bob.
Yes, I did have some. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
But I remember on that trip, Drew, we started throwing. We had a roll of toilet paper in the car, and we started throwing it around inside the car, and it was blowing out the windows. And that was our fun on the road. It would fly around inside the car and then fly out the window.
Do you remember where we were going on that trip? I never could.
We went to New York.
Is that right?
Yeah.
When was the Philly trip with Jerry's Kids and the FUs?
In the 80s.
Was that at the Love Club or the Love something or other?
Love Hall. I have pictures. of that. Hold on. I
can't remember.
Hold your horses. I think it was Love Hall. Yeah, right here. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. Would that be this?
And I think I remember Ace. I don't know if it's the same show, but SSD played as well.
Yeah, no, look at this flyer. Boom. Boom. Boston Hardcore, SSD Control, DYS, Jerry's Kids, FUs.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus Antidote. Wow.
Yeah, Antidote. I think it's probably one of the first times I saw Antidote play, the original Antidote. Yep. Band I would end up joining.
That was like a little road trip we did.
Wow.
What was that called? Love Hall? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember hearing about some one of the guys from the Misfits was watching the Jerry's Kids set, and he was up in the balcony like those.
I remember that. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that the Misfits show at the channel was an amazing show.
Yeah.
The Gangrene, FUs, Misfits, that was priceless.
You know what? Speaking of which. There you go.
Back when we could stage dive.
Yeah, I thought it was a big deal because I had that sticker on my leg there that you get the backstage pass. That was big
the
time.
channel backstage passes, those things were priceless. Those were like a badge of honor.
RS70, that was the FUs opening up for the Misfits at the channel in 82 or 83? 82, I think. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was what do you got there, Scott?
Just those passes at the channel.
There you go.
Wow.
Yes.
Look, they called us Deep Wounds.
Deep Wounds.
Actually,
it's actually a cooler name. Deep Wounds.
Hey, I got a question. Yeah. Someone mentioned Joe Rockhead before. Was that FUs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Wayne. Wayne on bass. That was his first name.
Because he supposedly wanted to kick everybody in Deep Wounds' ass because of a lyric in one of our songs called Sisters. And I don't think Charlie, who wrote the lyrics, knew. I think he just used Joe Rockhead as like a generic name. Maybe why he didn't keep the name either. But the lyrics are, goes to a frat party, drinks too much, lets Joe Rockhead knock her up. Joe's so gnarly, cute as can be. Next day ballin' because she's got VD. And he was pissed at all of us. He wanted to kick our asses. And of course, I thought, oh, great, we're never going to get to play Boston now, you know. So
I remember seeing Deep Wound at the channel. Do you remember what show that was? Like,
I think it was DOA. I think we opened for DOA.
Oh.
We played Gallery East too, and I don't remember who did that. But
Here's an interesting flyer from deep in my archive. This is from the Gallery East, and I actually have all these in a folder by date, and this technically by date is the last hardcore show ever at the Gallery East. And I don't know if this really happened. Mob, Reagan Youth, Urban Waste, Agnostic Front, Jerry's Kids. Do you have any recollection of this, Brian or Bob?
I don't know. It's quite a lineup there, especially maybe the $4 was a little pricey. Maybe it didn't happen or something. I don't know.
I don't know if this happened, actually. I think I asked Dwayne once, and he said it didn't happen. But this is quite the bill, you know?
Right.
Al Baril says, I brought Deep Wound in. All right. There you go.
Thanks, Al.
I remember a lot of those shows back at the Gallery East, and like being like kind of just all the local bands like the FUs, Gangrene, DYS, and
sure,
we'd play all those shows. We'd do a Sunday matinee there or something.
Yep.
And then when the big national bands came in, we'd like hook up with them and open up for them at the channel or something like that. And those were the big shows.
Yep.
But yeah, mostly those shows were just like it was the community of Gangrene, Jerry's Kids, and the FUs, and different opening acts or whatever. And
I think I remember seeing TSOL at the Galleries.
Yeah, for sure. We played with them. I talked to Jack about that when he was on the show. Here's a shot. This one kind of sums it up. This is an early Gallery East show. So from left to right, you have Jamie from SSD. That's Al Ford, who was the founder of the Gallery East. Rest in peace. Al Baril looking very solemn. And of course, a Boston police guy. Sort of, you could just see by the body language what's going on here. It's like it's something like this. It's like, listen, look, you guys, you're making all this noise here. Like, when's it gonna look? And you gotta shut it down. You know, that's what that looks like. I gotta shut you down. You know,
it looks like the fun's over.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
Al Ford looks like Chris Williamson.
Yeah, right. I saw Chris Williamson in my neighborhood the other day.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm looking for another a Gallery East shot. Oh, here's just as a final note on Gallery East. People think this is the exterior of Gallery East. It was just another art space. It wasn't like some big marquee or anything like that. That's the Gallery East when they cleared out. Like, this is like probably a week after they, because it says for lease. But that was where all the Minor Threat played there, MDC, SSD Control, and that was Gallery East.
And then all of a sudden, there's a Lacar.
I was
car. Look at the shape of cars. They look like boxes. Like, what the hell's going on?
The parking lot right next to that building was wide open. I remember we used to just go there and skate all day before.
Yeah.
All day
I've got pictures like that. Yeah. Yeah, hold on.
Well, that was the thing. The Gallery East and all the clubs on Broad Street were in the financial or business district. So when the workday was over, there was no one there. They were abandoned. So you could have shows there and you weren't bothering anyone.
Here you go, Betsker. Boom.
Yeah, there we go.
That's right out. That's the other side of the wall, the parking lot there. And that's Tony Perez, right?
Yep.
And I think that's Shred, who has his back to us.
Shred, yeah.
And it very much reminded me of like CBGB's matinees that in New York, because Sundays were dead. Nobody was around.
That was perfect. Perfect time for the show there.
You can friggin' kill each other off. Nobody would, you know.
Shred's insignia on his jacket kind of looks like the Walmart insignia. Is there something like that in there?
Well, Jerry's Kids had a logo kind of like that. It was a J and a K.
Oh, that wasn't the Jerry's Kids?
I don't know.
Here's just because I'm just going through, you know, the material I put together. But here's another, you know, this. Look at this bill. This is from the Media Workshop. SSD Control, Gangrene, Jerry's Kids, FUs, you know, and the Freeze. Wow.
That looks like a Steve Grimes flyer.
Yeah. Sunday, January 3rd, 1982.
Wow.
Yep. Imagine that.
That was like every other weekend. It was that lineup, different order. Or
Yeah.
Yep. And we would all go. Like you had to go. Like you didn't miss an event like that. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Sensi, did you want to mention the singer for Siege?
Oh yeah, I just want people to know that the first singer from Siege was from Braintree.
Ah, okay.
And he was one of the first hardcore guys that played saxophone back in 1982.
Okay.
So,
That
and
makes
rest in peace to Kevin Mahoney.
Oh,
Good
Kevin.
friend.
Yeah. I'm like, who? Yeah,
Rest
Kevin.
in peace.
Great.
Rest in peace, Kevin Mahoney. Okay. What else? I want to take let me take my my last sponsor break, shout out a couple people, and we'll come back and we'll take some questions from around the world and we'll keep at it. Scott, you gonna hang with us? You don't gotta go anywhere.
No, I'll hang. Yeah. It's
Hey,
fun.
man. Hey, why not? All right, I'll see you in a couple, you guys. All right. Come on now. It is Sunday Shout Out Day. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, and DTFM Vinyl Distro. It's a record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore, metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's Industrial District. Shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is Death to False Metal. Speaking of which, Generation Records, since 1992, has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs. Do you have the soundtrack to Annie? How about Oklahoma? How about Hello, Dolly? Hello, Dolly. Yes, hello, Dolly. Who originally played Hello, Dolly on Broadway? Anybody? Who played Hello, Dolly? What you got? What you got? Who played Hello, Dolly? Who's famous for playing Hello, Dolly? Anyway, and reggae LPs as well as T-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook or on Instagram. No, Mae West. Incorrect. How about Chacho's Tacos? Located in Corpus Christi, Texas, Chacho's Tacos opened the doors in 2001, home of the almighty Chacho's Taco. They cook up an incredible home-style Tex-Mex food, and this month they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. They've been supporting underground music since the beginning, and in their own words, we ain't stopping anytime soon. Touring bands that play Corpus Christi, swing by and get a home-cooked meal at Chacho's Tacos. We got you. The underground scene will never die. Please follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. Yeah, Louis Armstrong sang it. Who played? Yes, Carol Channing. Carol Channing. That is correct. Yes, Larry Kelly. Carol Channing. Al Baril. Yes, Louis Armstrong. Yes, hello, Dolly. That said, want to mention a couple shows coming up. Just announced this one, actually, I think yesterday. Sunday, February 27th. It is another reunion show. It is the Castle Heights 20-year reunion show, Castle Heights, aka Castle Fights. Kevin Castle Scandato, who booked the place. This should be an interesting. We're lining up a bunch of guests. This will be a fun show. It is the Castle Fights 20-year reunion. Queens represent. Also, coming up, I don't know if I want to mention that one. Yeah, let me mention the ones I've already announced. How about Wednesday, January 19th? Gary G-Man Sullivan from Cro-Mags, B-52s, Burning Worrell, and Defunct will be on the show. He is also a fan of the show. You see him in the chat room every now and then. So Gary G-Man Sullivan will be on the show, and we are looking forward to that. Also, I didn't announce these two publicly. You know what? Let's get crazy. First time we're hearing it here. Wednesday, January 23rd. We're doing a little bit of a side trip. Don't be scared. Take my hand. I know you can handle it. Wednesday, January 23rd, episode 173. It is a side trip. Come join us. BMX legend and musician Rick Thorne. Rick Thorne, great guy, character, BMX legend, hardcore enthusiast, will be on the show. This should be very interesting. Very interesting. That said, you know what? Let's get crazy. You know what? I gotta mention this. At the Bowery Electric on Sunday, February 6th. You know what? Yeah. We are doing a High and the Mighty reunion. Remember, you can run, but you can't hide. The High and the Mighty. Me, Zum, REA, and Tristan DeGraves. Sub-Zero's on the bill. Murderers Row. Speaking of Troy, New York, we've met the enemy, and the enemy is us. Dark Side, NYC, and Skitopolis. High and the Mighty reunion. Come on now. This is going to be a lot of fun. That said, I got to mention the next show. Free all ages Sunday matinee on the Bowery. 24/7 Spies. Fahrenheit 451. Cropsy and Iconicide. That's coming up. The next one, Sunday, January 16th. These shows have been great. You are all welcome. You're welcome to come on down. Come on down. I already shouted out Josh's daughter Evelyn. I hope you heal up. Patrons, Facebook pages, everybody that supports me, thank you. Reach out to me on Instagram, you bum. Here it is. If you have a communication device, pick it up right now. Find me at stonefilmsnyc.com. Excuse me, at stonefilmsnyc on Instagram. Come follow the show, see what's going on. If you are watching the show on rerun, there is a subscribe button right there. Subscribe to the show. What do you know? What else? There's a merch line also underneath. Maybe you want the New York Hardcore Chronicles mug. Maybe you want, the pillow or the shower curtain. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Check it out. All right. Enough of me talking about me. Yo, Josh Lint. Yo, we got to get your daughter on here, man. We got to hear from her, the drama. We got to hear what happened. And we're glad we caught. Yo, two big things happened today on the show. Paris Mayhew got his guitar back, and Josh Lent, his daughter, they caught the dude, and he's looking at some serious charges. So, Dark Side NYC's on the bill. It's a High and the Mighty reunion. We got Zum. Zum's going to play. Go figure. So it's going to be great. That said, Rick Thorne. We like Rick Thorne. Good dude. Bob Sensi, Florence, my wife, is impressed with all the content, program, and learning from today's broadcast and wants to know if she can get college credits. Sure. Can you get college credits from watching the show? I don't know. Let me ask him. College credits for watching the show? Sure. Yep. Let's bring on everybody else. Let's take questions from around the world. Brian Metzger, Bob Faraples, and Scott Helland, Guitar Me of One. So, any questions? post them up. Let's do it. Let's dance around a little bit. Let's see what we got. Hardcore college credits. Oh yeah, whoa. Come back with that, Scott. Come on now.
First question's about me. You skedaddling.
Yep.
The proletariat.
Ooh. Dude, you could retire from those those five records right there. You could retire, dude.
You know, I've sold some metal records, but I can't part with my hardcore records. I just can't do it.
The price
People
is-
have offered me
Hang on to them.
big bucks. I know. Yeah. People have offered me big bucks. I can't do it. I don't know. I got tons of them. I did a whole video of all the records.
Hold on. Sorry, I ran over to my coat rack. That record resonates with me so much. It's on the back of one of my denim jackets now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep, my girlfriend just sewed it on for me. You see that,
Yeah.
Alvarell?
Jerry's
I'm representing 40 years later. How about that, right?
Awesome. Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Okay, let's take some hey, Brian, didn't Gangrene tour the UK with DRI once? Is that right?
Yes,
Remember?
we opened up probably it wasn't my first tour over there. Probably a second or third. We opened up the DRI on a tour over there. Yeah, it was great tour. Those guys were fun.
Cool. Was Brian on the 86-87 Gangrene Meatmen tour? Caught that at the Cameo Theater, Miami Beach. Any good Tesco stories? All of them, right?
Yeah, we were on that tour. I spent the whole day out on Miami Beach playing frisbee. I was scorched like a lobster, and I had to go. It was brutal. Never forget it.
Hey, this is a nice one, man. Any Bob White memories? Anybody? Any Bob White memories?
It's very familiar. I can't pull one up at the moment.
Bob White was, I mean, I spent a lot of time with Bob White. He passed away a couple years ago. He was a character, man. He was a real character. Was there a graffiti scene in Boston back then? It's more like a flyer, not
Yeah,
really.
I was gonna say a flyer scene.
Yeah.
We weren't part of any big graffiti stuff going on or anything, but just like flyers, posting them all over the place, running over to copy cops, getting a million copies and just plastering them everywhere.
Yeah, I have. Let me see. I have a good picture of. No, I had a bunch of them. Those were cool. What? I'm sorry. What is it? What is it? It says I was on that tour with Gangrene and DRI, writing stories for Rip Magazine. Incredible way to see Europe for the first time.
Yeah. Get it. Nice. He was there. Yeah, it was great. He was on the bus with us.
Oh yeah, Volt, yo, Rick Thorne's coming on the show. How about that, huh? Absolutely. Send me some questions or chime in, during the show. He's a good dude. John Sock says the first time I met him, Bob White, I sneezed and Bob White said curse you instead of bless you. That's awesome. Hey, let's address this, Brian. Hey, Brian, what's your current kit like? Are you playing these days? Tell us what's going on.
Wow, the current kit is right here, the Premiere. It's almost the same as the kit I had back in the Jerry's Kids Is This My World record. I got this beautiful Chama Superstar Aquamarine set. Years later, I sold it, traded it for something. I wish I had that kit today, but this is my clone kit over here. But not doing all the playing these days. Just got the drums in the house, and that's about it.
But you said you got the itch a little bit.
I mean, how can you not get the itch with this stuff going on? Like,
yeah, I know.
Someone give me an offer.
I see a guitar amp in the back.
Yeah.
Come on over, Bob. I got it set up for you. It's ready to go.
Great.
Imagine that, man. Imagine that. Question for Bob for Apples from our resident historian, Chucky Brown. Why didn't the FUs get any credit for the track Young Fast Iranians on the film Return of the Living Dead? I believe they used the track without permission. Is that right?
I believe that is true. That's a better question for John Sox. I know he's watching. He can chime in. I'm not too keen on all these business development things. I just wanted to play. I didn't care what was going on.
Right. Leave that to
Bob just handles the fan mail.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. John says that was the Straw Dogs version. Okay, kind of makes sense. I got to open for Roy Ramon says I got to open for Gangrene in 07 here in Ireland back in my heyday of drinking. I thought I'd be able to hold my own at the party afterwards. I was very wrong. Those guys were animals. Great times.
I was on that tour. I was in Gangrene at that time.
Oh, were you in the band at the time?
Yeah.
Betzker?
No, I was not in 07. No.
You tapped out. What do you remember of that, Sensi?
Chris Doherty was like a whiskey drinking, cowboy fighting type of guy. So I remember myself and Walter had to hold him back. He was mad at some promoter or something, and we were holding him back, and he's like, I'm fine. So the second we let him go, he just started pounding on this promoter's face. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds like Chris.
Did you party hard like that when you were in the band, Betzker?
We did a lot of drinking back in the day. Yeah,
I just don't picture you as being that guy, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't come off like me, but a lot of drinking. The other stuff I kind of steered away from. But yeah, lots of Budweisers.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I remember playing Dublin. So maybe this guy was in Dublin.
Yeah, that could be. Hey Brian, Lucky One is my drum teacher. You ever talk to him? Who's that?
Oh, Lucky. Lucky still plays. I've seen some of his podcasts and stuff. Yeah, from Circle Jerks. Lucky.
Lucky Learner. Hey Brian, Lucky Learner's my drum teacher. You ever talk to him? Okay.
Never spoken with him, but yeah, he's still killing it. I think back in the day we were pretty much on the same level. I think he was probably a little more famous than I was, but we were both killing it. We get compared to a lot as like the greatest hardcore punk drummers back in the day. Like it's either me or Lucky, and so yeah. But he's still out there. He's killing it.
Hey, for Apples, what's going on here?
Wow.
I cracked it was a show in Quincy a few years ago, and I cracked the knuckle open, and it was around maybe Halloween, and a vampire came at me right afterwards, and I was trying to hold it back.
Ouch.
Yeah. That looks
It
like
looks
it hurts.
painful.
Yeah, very painful.
John Sock says the Damned tried to get off the soundtrack, and we were a backup that the Damned were back in, and they forgot to take us off. So they owe us at least a friggin' credit. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Cool. Let me see what else. Got any other ones? Scott, you've been out playing, right?
Me, yeah. Actually, yeah. I've done a couple solo shows. I just played with Deep Dinosaur Jr. last week out in Western Mass.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when Dinosaur Jr. plays, if I'm in town, I'll do a Deep Wound tune with them.
Oh, that's cool.
Last time we talked, I did that. I played Fenway Park with them, which was pretty cool because
that was pretty crazy, man.
I didn't know they were still playing. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's cool. It's cool that Jay, like, you know, is always, you know, up for that, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you know, I got to, let's say they opened up for Jane's Addiction. I did that show out in Michigan. I mean, Fenway Park was pretty awesome, especially since this is a Boston show. I mean, fucking Fenway Park, holy shit, you know.
Doesn't get any better.
They were opening for the Foo Fighters.
Wow.
Right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Just like-
What for Apples? What's going on? Can you bring us? I know this isn't your department, but don't the FUs have some new music coming out?
Yeah, we do. We have a new record that'll be out pretty soon.
Awesome.
It's a 7-song, 12-inch. You play it at 45, and we recorded a couple years ago. And then when we sent it to the record company, they shut down for the pandemic. And then when they opened up, blah, 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 blah. Everything's on hold. So, but it's moving through the process. So we hope it'll be out in the next couple months. It's called Death Squad Nostalgia.
Death Squad Nostalgia?
Yes, sir.
That's a good FU's. That's a good FU's name, man.
Perfect.
That's a good
awesome.
name. Good name for FU's. Sensi, what's up with you musically? What are you doing, Bob Sensi?
I have a band called Rock and Bob Punk Band.
Playing shows?
Heard of them.
Yeah, and actually Bob is playing drums. So we did a release. We have a CD.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Yeah,
it was great.
What's up with Yui and the Boy? What's that one?
Yui at the Bowie. Well, that band is. I'm trying to play like music that isn't like.
What is it? Yui and the Bowie?
Yui at the Bowie. It's more like rhythm. It's more like rhythm and blues. You know.
Right on.
Clean guitar, precise. You know, I'm trying to improve on my skills.
Nice.
That's cool.
Good. Death Squad Nostalgia, awesome name. People love it. That's cool. All right. Well, hey. What else we got? Anybody else? Is it dinner time? You know? All right. Scott, I just want to mention that once again, anybody out there, coming up this Saturday, Scott will be playing down here in New York at Generation Records as part of the Women of the Pit and the New York Hardcore Chronicles live holiday event. I will have the second printing of my book, The New York Hardcore Chronicles 1980 to 1989, and food will be provided by the Organic Grill. Everyone is welcome to this event. Anybody you want to shout out, Scott, on the way out?
No, just if you're in New York City next Saturday, come on down. Generation Records. It'll be great to see you. It'll be a fun show. And thanks for having me, Drew.
Always. You're always welcome here. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yep. Thanks. Good to see you guys.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yep.
Good to see you.
Cool. That was a nice treat. Robert Hogg says, is it possible Gangrene can come back to Scotland? I don't think anybody can really answer that on this show today, right?
You never know. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Here's a Bob Sensi picture that I didn't show. Make sure. Let me just get it. Are you okay here in this one, Bob?
Oh yeah, that's from the Is This My World record.
Hey, do you still have that guitar?
No, but that was at the Rock and Roll Rumble at Axis.
Right.
And I remember seeing the sound check and this band called Till Tuesday played, and I was like, I think a band like this is gonna win. So
yeah.
Didn't you wait, Gangrene won, right?
Yeah, in '86.
That a year later or something. This is from '83.
Yeah, Gangrene won in '86.
Here's that other guitar, right?
Yeah, that's the coffee table.
There it is.
I got the skater knee.
You got the
pads
knee
on.
brace. You got the knee pad on.
Well, I could find that with those knee pads, I could slide across the stage.
Nice.
It was cool.
Betzker, that was a big deal at the time, winning the Rock and Roll Rumble, huh?
Yeah, it was last year at they had the finals at the Orpheum, so we played against what's his name? I forget his name, but the Del Fuegos were on the bill, and But yeah, it was a great night. I mean, it was basically like we were set up to win the whole event. We kind of had to play it from start to finish. We were on tour, and BCN said, "No, you guys got to come back and play these shows. We need you to play in the Rumble this year." So we're like, "All right, let's cut off the tour and go back and play in the Rumble." And
It's like when you're up for an Oscar and they call you and say, "No, you guys really need to be here for this."
Right, exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to the Oscar. My dad won an Oscar. He didn't even go. He wasn't even. He didn't go. He won it with Mel Brooks for a short film in 1963. He's like, there's no way we were going to win, and they won. He was watching at home.
Wow. Yeah, it was Johnny A that we went up against that year in the finals, and it was just like night and day, like a crazy band against like a good rock band, but it was kind of fixed from the beginning. So I'll take it though.
Here's a nice one from Jody Betzker. A big shout out from Mrs. Betzker. All these guys practiced in my basement for 10 years. Hi, Bob.
Yep, we had a little practice space down in the basement. It was about a 10 by 12 room, no bigger, and that's where we rehearsed all the time.
That's where Jerry's kids got their start.
I remember one summer we did double sessions. We'd rehearse in the afternoon and then come back in the evening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, the neighbors loved it.
Bob, you told me, Bob Sensei, you told me about how Jerry's kids would rehearse a couple years ago. That correct me if I'm not remembering it right. You would like go through the set at half speed, then go through the set with no vocals, then do it all full on. Is that right?
I don't remember saying.
I remember you telling me that. You're like, we would go through at half speed, and I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Pretty cool. Gangrene versus Guitar Whiz Johnny A's previous band Hearts on Fire in the final.
Yep, Hearts on Fire. Yep.
That's a band? Yeah.
That was Johnny A. Yeah, Johnny A's band was Hearts on Fire that year. I think he had a previous band, but it might have been just Johnny A, but that was Hearts on Fire.
Oh.
Al Baril says Brian's family always appeared to really support him. That's nice.
Oh, they were always my father pretty much showed up at every gig.
That's awesome.
I remember both your parents were at Mavericks.
Yep.
And they were right up front, and they got knocked around. They were like, "Oh,
right. Oh no, what's going on?" But what was the show? What was the show we played with the Dead Kennedys? Was that in like Waltham at some VFW hall or something?
Oh yeah, and during our set, we broke a microphone.
Right. My father got in a big fight with Jello. Like, no,
what?
That was crazy. Like Jello wanted Jerry's kids to pay for the microphone. He's like, my father was like, "What are you talking
the
about?"
sound engineer was like, "Someone's got to pay for this microphone," and then Jello started asking us or telling us the microphone broke during your set. Blah blah
Right.
blah.
Like, we basically got paid like probably $35 for the show, and the microphone's $50. Like, come on, you can't throw the microphone in on your bill or whatever. Like, but
They didn't end up charging us for the microphone. So for the record, I think the Dead Kennedys might.
I remember the Dead Kennedys show it was supposed to be at the Cyclorama, and it got moved to 9 Lansdowne. And I remember that show being bananas. It was SSD Control, and Dead Kennedys. I'll never forget that one, man. Because
I was there.
Yeah, because there was some sort of delay, and they pushed me out to talk to the crowd and tell them that there's a delay, and it was like not a good scene. People were freaking, It was wild. Gangrene, You Got It is one of my favorite albums of all time. All right, good. Okay.
How about we talk about Black Flag?
How does Black Flag play in this? You want to talk Black Flag? Sure.
Well, I mean, I think Black Flag played at 9 Lansdowne or something like that on Lansdowne.
No, Black Flag played Spit.
A Spit.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
And here is a photo of that. Here is a fill and flash photo of Black Flag playing Spit. which was in 1981. Boom. There you go, with Dez singing.
Oh, wow.
And that guy with his head down on the stage, that's Al Baril with hair. Right there. Yep.
Wow.
There's Al Baril with hair. But this was the great Black Flag lineup, man. They were awesome. I mean, this is Black Flag, man. You know?
That was great. Is that Robo?
Here you go, Al Baril. For all you big Al Baril fans out there, here is Al Baril with the homemade Black Flag shirt on, and hold on, with the mustache coming in and the hair. What's up, man?
Wow.
Yep. And then you could it's a little dark in this picture, but all the way with his back against facing us, that's Paul Gaudreau, God rest his soul, who passed away a couple years ago. Paul Gaudreau, who worked at Spit, you know.
Oh.
So there you go. But Black Flag we loved Black Flag back then.
Great band.
Yeah, they were great. 2 days of shows at 9 Lansdowne, the Metro, Dead Kennedys, FU's Ecstasy, Jerry's Kids, the Freeze, Gangrene. Was it two Dead Kennedy shows at that place? Maybe it was.
Probably.
Yeah, that 1982 was the golden year for the first wave of Boston hardcore. So, hey, let's wrap it up. I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the show. In celebration of This Is Boston, Not LA 40th anniversary, a record that really affected all our lives. Bob for Apples, anybody you want to shout out?
My mom. My mom.
All right. We'll see you soon, Bob. Keep in touch.
All right, later.
Take care. Betsker, anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, my daughter who's been sitting here the whole time. She's precious. Sammy.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
I thought I heard you banging around back there.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's my biggest fan.
All right. How old are you, hon?
18.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
18, first year at Stonehill College. She's killing it.
God, good for you. What are you studying?
Biology.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
Nice. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Brian. Anybody else?
No, that's good. The rest of the family's upstairs. The dogs are somewhere, but we're good.
All right. It was nice talking to you. Take care.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, thanks. This was a privilege. It was great.
My pleasure.
Loved it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks.
Talk
See
soon.
you later, Brian.
Sensi.
Yes, sir.
Brian Jones says, nice job, Drew. Class A guests. All right. Good. Anybody you want to shout out?
I want to give a shout out to my family. They've been listening to me talk all day. And I want to give a shout out to everyone from Braintree.
Braintree represent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Good talking with you.
Take care. Well, there you have it. That was a fun show. This is Boston, Not LA 40th anniversary, the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Hey, we got a couple minutes. Who do you want to see on the show? Anybody? You know, looking at this picture here from Gallery East, I got to say, you see me all the way on the right there, on the far right? It was like 40, that was 40 years ago? It was 40, there I am 40 years ago at a hardcore show, all the way on the right there. Man, I haven't aged a day. You know, that's crazy, man. Great show, Drew. Brian's a great drummer, too. Absolutely. Great stuff. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Sergeant D, thank you. It was a fun show. We're going to be back in a week with Kevin Seconds. So thanks, Paulie. Thanks, Tim. And thanks for the support. I appreciate it. And Darren, yeah, it was a good one. Absolutely. 1 week from today, let me just remind everyone that 1 week from today, Mr. Kevin Seconds will be on the show. Get your straight edge on. This should be cool. Kevin Seconds, 1 week from today. There you go. So Everybody, we expect to see you for that. Yes, we'll see you on Saturday at Generation Records. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for. I think I covered. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I think I'm good. Thanks to everybody that supports me on Patreon and makes this show a reality. I couldn't do it without you. Honestly, you know, this wouldn't happen without the support. If you're wondering and you'd like to be a part of it, there it is. I'm very fortunate. I've said this many times. This was not part of my master plan to do a live internet streaming talk show, but this thing has really has a life of its own, and I really appreciate it, and I really enjoy doing it. So I'm a very fortunate guy. See you later, Joe Frank. See you, Gajowski. Alberil, thank you for chiming in today. AJ Bender. Yeah, the Ludacris guys, that's come up a couple of times. You know, we talked about that. We could probably do something like that one of these days. Yeah, Sean McNally. Brian B. and Four Apples are two of the fastest and hardest hitters in Boston drum history for sure. Legends. Yogi Jaya. Bless yous all and great show. Praying for homie, hoping liver transplant accepts to his body well. Okay, good. Yep, Julia Kennedy. There you go. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in a week. I'm going down to Florida to see the one, the only Arnie Stone. So there'll be no show on Wednesday. Yep. Thank you, Chucky. I'll be down in Florida. So if anybody wants to hang out down in Florida, let me know. And yeah, I'll be back. And Larry, we'll see you on Saturday. Everybody else, thanks a million. Until then, do good things, and good things will come to you.